3 seconds after the rank product is launched. Congratulations, noobs. You've effectively raised an army of consumer gaming zombies who conveniently seem to lack not only artistic standards, but opposable thumbs. I'd be inclined to look the other way and ignore the thumbless zombie parade, but these bungling post-sports have the audacity to hate on us, the gamers who play games for gameplay, and so we're subject to the endless abuses of idiotic whiners. Russia fag, hacker, no-life loser, imbalance! But the truth is, the only imbalance here is coming from your underdeveloped inner ear, you uncoordinated ball of gay. I'm truly sorry you had your clumsy ass kicked around in gym class like a hacky sack in the 1980s, but that's no reason to be a sandy crotch vagina while I'm kicking your virtual ass in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Even more infuriating than the consumer zombie noobs are the noobs whose jobs involve playing video games then critiquing them for mass public consumption. These champions of mob mentality shouldn't bother me since I've grown rather accustomed to unqualified nitwits performing undeserved jobs, except that within gaming media circles, being a noob seems to become some kind of fucking prerequisite. I know going through life with the lack of a pinch grip can be frustrating, but calling a 3-hour single-player experience the height of game design and comparing the dialogue in GTA 4 to that of The Godfather is nothing less than absolutely retarded. Here's the unpleasant truth. Your teachers lied to you when they said that anyone, even you, can become an astronaut. Some people are just naturally better at certain things than others. There's something called talent. No matter how hard I try, I'll never paint a Mona Lisa or invent the quantum computer. No matter how hard you try, you'll never finish Contra without cheating. Many people have a genuine desire to challenge themselves to be better. This does not make them alien or cruel, and certainly not Russia fags. It just makes them uber gamers. It's no reason to resent them, at least no more than you resent John Holmes for his enormous cock. So the next time you think, I could beat all the pro gamers if I just played as much as them, think again. That belief is as pathetic as the accent I'm talking in right now. All the basketball training in the world won't help your pudgy 5'4" dimpled bottom make the NBA, just like all the StarCraft training in the world couldn't prevent Park Sung-joon from sticking his golden mouse up your ass.
Don't you play me like Nintendo. 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 Do you think that I'm your Game Boy? Do you think that I'm your toy? Don't you know you can't unplug me? I have all electricity. You will never ever succeed, turning my soul into dead meat. Girl, you are a fucking tripper, crazy and inject the ripper. How's it feel to shine a stranger? Girl, you are a walking danger. Don't you trip, it's all on the stage. You think it is that you're a stage.
What do you want? I smelled something stirring on the wind. I found it hard to resist. You've always had a way with words. It's the smell of battle.
Yes, and who here hasn't fought his share of hopeless battles? Not very sporting of you to leave us out of this one. Now is it, Rowan?
You are our general. We wouldn't abandon you in your hour of need.
Of course not. You weren't the only one who took a vow before the prelate, you know. Should anything befall her, we swore to stand at your side. And so we shall.
Our troops spread before us like the sea. We need only await the coming of the storm.
Forgive me. This was not your fight.
Andy, Jim, can I see the conference room for a minute? Now? Yes, now. Put the game on hold, everyone. This is not working, okay? We're getting slaughtered out there. It's the new guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what we're talking about. See what I mean? We just need a strategy, okay? We're gonna set up a trap in the gun room. All right, Jim, are you using the MP40 or the 44? Sniper rifle. Snipe what? Jim, are you playing other team? You don't snipe in Carrington, okay? Saboteur! Saboteur! I'm gonna kill you for real. The game is over. I'm really going to shoot you.
decade. 7 generations of feuding and inbreeding like the residents of the backwoods Louisiana swamp, and this is around the time the really interesting deformities start setting in. So while we're on the subject, let's start with the Wii. Nintendo is the oldest contestant still in the console race, and it seems they've gotten bored of the usual brick with button pad attached with string model and trying to mix things up with a fancy motion-sensitive system of controls. A bold effort perhaps to do away with the grind of random button mapping, but in practice it's really only replacing it with random stick waggling. It's almost like we've come full circle back to the joystick waggling of the Spectrum and C64 era, and now I feel really old, but if the Wii's controller is supposed to be a universal motion sensor, then why do they keep cleaning out attachments to turn the thing into a steering wheel or gun or guitar or milking machine or something? Somehow I liked it better when it was asking us to fill in the blanks with the power of imagination. That had a sort of charming Muppet Baby's innocence to it. The Wii's game lineup consists of the usual Nintendo staples of Zelda, Metroid, Mario, etc., because Nintendo's policy seems to be that if you beat a dead horse vigorously enough, its constant twitching and juddering will at least give a semblance of activity. But of the big sellers, only Zelda is currently out, and the rest of the available games are a cavalcade of mediocrity. As overused as the character is, it seems that a Nintendo console on the market without a Mario title is like a fat kid swimming without water wings. The polar opposite to Nintendo's bewilderingly named modesty-powered little white cuboid is Sony's unoriginally titled monolithic flat Colossus for PlayStation 3, a shiny chrome Spider-Man type-faced thing the size of a small car loaded with arguably the most powerful top-of-the-range hardware. But blinging out your console with such things creates the unspoken obligation to also bling out the games with top-of-the-range graphics, which puts production time and costs several months and several $1 million on the side of uncomfortable. This may explain why there are hardly any games out for the bloody thing. Like Nintendo, the PS3 is largely selling on future potential because of the promise of Metal Gear Solid 4 and Final Fantasy 13 at some point, but if Final Fantasy 13 continues the tradition of mostly Final Fantasies, then you could probably simulate it just as well by listening to the Star Wars soundtrack while huffing nitrous oxide and reading an Excel spreadsheet. But it's okay, because Sony are marketing this overpriced horse box as not only a games machine, but also a player of Blu-ray movies, which is apparently some new format that's better than DVD. It's supposed to have higher definition, but personally I've never found myself saying, oh, Army of Darkness is still a glorious celebration of boyish fantasy violence, but if only the resolution was a wee bit bigger, it could be significantly improved. I'm not a connoisseur, but for me there's really not enough visible difference between Blu-ray and DVD quality for Sony to credibly argue that it's the next big advance. And let's not forget that combining a home gaming system with a movie system is something that Sony tried with the PSP and failed at because no one wanted to buy Full Metal Jacket again just for the privilege of watching it on the bus in teeny-weeny eye-strainer vision. While Sony targets hardcore technology freaks and Nintendo targets gamers who aren't yet old enough to cross the road by themselves, the Xbox 360 has its sights on more of a casual gaming, beer-drinking frat boy demographic, and reflects that with a stack of big tough manly games like Gears of War and Dead Rising, the latter being a game with a difficulty curve like running headlong into a brick wall. The 360 undoubtedly has the strongest lineup of games, which at this point is admittedly like beating 2 quadruple amputees at swing ball, because it also has a strong back catalogue of Xbox games, or at least it would do if the backwards compatibility wasn't a big load of bullshit and chips. The 360 also has the best online support with the Xbox Live malarkey, although the player base can charitably be described as lively and uncharitably described as a bunch of hooting dickholes. And then of course there's the fact that the 360 hardware has a bad case of the gremlins. At time of writing, the 360 in my household is bricked because we had the sheer gall to try and play games on it. It seemed to recover for a while after some fiddling, but after that though we were afraid to use it in case it returned to the land of the dead. For a few days it was like Schrodinger's console in a quantum state of both bricked and unbricked until we finally tried playing something again and the waveform collapsed. So it's currently at the repair shop. Perhaps next month I will have to review Halo 3 by playing it on a microwave. With the current generation of consoles, we've reached or nearly reached the point where graphics aren't going to get much better, so we can all stop rushing to top the last generation's technology and concentrate on making some games with actual depth. Except of course that the console wars are all ultimately futile because the best game ever, Fantasy World Dizzy for the Commodore 64, has already been made. Or maybe all of gaming is pointless, just toying with the gravel on the side of the big road of life. But hey, at least there's violence and tits.